it's getting real, people. It's become a big, I don't want to say it's a joke, because it's not a joke. It's a real serious thing. But we all see the statistics. When we start looking into it, it's not as deadly as they make it seem. Now, people are ready to get back to work. I can tell, because obviously they're making fun of it. They're over here making cumbia songs. I hear them making rap songs about the coronavirus, like, boo, coronavirus, coronavirus. I'm telling you, it's now hit the cultural mainstream to the point now where people are clawing at the walls, making songs and becoming TikTok famous over coronavirus. It's gold. It's gold. And yesterday I was at the postal annex picking up a package because I got a new postmaster and they didn't recognize the name on the box. I'm like, fine, whatever, it doesn't match. Fine. Went over there, picked up my packages, and I'm standing in line and I'm wearing my Mario Presents hat, which has the Donald Trump Republican elephant, the Republican elephant with the hair on it. And then I have my bag, it's a military style bag, which has a Donald Trump pin on it. And obviously you know that I'm going to be a right-leaning person. And we start talking and the guy's like, oh, well, they're over here, he's doing bad for the economy, he's going to get us back to work and he's going to poison us all because he's going to send us all back to work and we're all going to get sick again. And I whipped around on that man and I looked at him and I said, first of all, that man is giving you hope. That's what we really need right now, is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm sorry if the light keeps changing. I'm in my living room and I don't have one of those ring lights, but it's been a cloudy day and I've been fighting it all day. Anywho, I digress. So the man's over here telling me that Donald Trump is going to get everybody sick. And I remind him, I said, hey, here's the thing. The man has to give people hope. He made a comment just recently about how more people would be dying if he didn't do what he was doing because they wouldn't know how to feed their families. And this is true of any natural disaster. When parents or husbands or wives don't know what they're going to do with their children, they turn to their darkest times. And some of those dark times, we see a lot of tragedies. And we don't want to see any of those tragedies. We don't want to see parents taking the lives of their children or their own lives because they can't support them and they think it's such a disastrous thing. And it is a disastrous thing. And that's why Donald Trump gave us that date of April 12th. Now, the culture has obviously learned that, we're making a huge, big deal out of a small thing. The most vulnerable we do need to protect. We need to start maintaining the social distancing. And the left is having a meltdown. They're over here complaining about the language on the bill. They're over here spreading lies about how the stimulus bill, that if you were to take out the loan or they're going to give you the money, you apply, they're going to take it out of your taxes next year. They're not going to take it out of your taxes next year. I looked into that just right now, trying to find out more information. And we need to start being vocal. That man in the line yesterday really just kind of got me, and he kept picking at me. He kept going at me, and finally I was like, you know what? I do this. This is part of what I do. I said, let me tell you about the state, and I rattled off a whole bunch of things that the state does, and I said, and the state is run by Democrats, so you need to start waking up. I said, now, I will tell you that the Republicans are not racist. I go around there and I travel in little stilettos and I do my thing, and he just kind of like and kind of like things. And no, there was no hate. There's no anger. There's no animosity of any sort while I'm at the rallies. This is a new party. This is a new direction we're going, and this is really, really interesting. I can't wait for these storms to clear up, for the sunlight to come out, and for the beautiful, beautiful, amazing super bloom that we're going to have here in California. Because last year, if you'd remember, we had a super bloom because of all the wet season that we had last year. Well, all those flowers, when they withered and died, they dropped seeds. Now we've had an even wetter season, and we just got a nice good dousing the last week or so. So those poppies on those super California blooms are going to be amazing. But please don't pull over on the side of the freeway. Get off the freeway, pull over, don't stop, because that was a problem last year. And I don't know where people's minds are. I've had this discussion with my husband on many occasions. I say, people are dumb. As a whole, they're just like a big giant blob of bleh. But on an individual case-by-case basis, you can find definitely intelligent people, and you can find definite, wonderful people who are, gifted in their own right in different areas and aspects. But some people just completely lack it. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday while we were playing our video game, that her new sister-in-law made a comment about, Maine Lobster. She wanted to get a Maine Lobster in Maine, and she was like, no, it has to be in Maine. And it was one of those, like, you can get a Maine lobster anywhere on the East Coast, honey. It doesn't have to be in Maine. Oh, it has to be in Maine. One of those types. So they do exist. We do need to be wary of them, because when those are misinformed, then unfortunately we all suffer, because they go to the booth and they make misinformed decisions when they're in the booth. So it's good to start having conversations, start talking to your friends, start talking to your neighbors, have these conversations. And when someone starts to badmouth the things that are actually benefiting our country, stand up. Don't just sit there and be quiet and look down and just be like, oh yeah, no, we're not gonna do. No, I'm gonna make you. Yeah, I am, and I'm gonna make you mad, because that man walked into that post office, because there's only 2 people allowed in there, and he walked in there, he came back out, and he was a real nice man. Like, I said, that's right. You have a wonderful afternoon, sir. So I love you guys. Mwah. I will see you guys later.